Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
Well, what a great morning coffee. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'll pass on the baton to our judges.
Who wants to?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want me to go first? Okay. I can't pronounce his name. What is his first name?
Rajat.
Rajat. Is that correct? Rajat. Oh, here it is at the bottom. Okay. Rajat, you're a very talented guy. And the piece, as you know, is quite demanding in many ways. I think your sound is big. You project very well. Of course, I can't tell because of the piano, it's closed and so on, but even with it closed, it projects quite well. The thing that I noticed that's very strong is your finger work. It's your fingers are very independent and they cut. But some of the forearm playing, I think you could possibly profit from sitting a little higher so that you're not making double motions, going up for a chord and things like that, like and the reason I say that is because if you feel the harmonic impetus in a passage like that, you'll see that you want to go to the downbeat and not delay the downbeat. In other words, da 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 da, da, not that kind of thing, but go towards that downbeat, and everything else that comes before it is really like bridge material. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're trying to make a big deal or a melodic thing out of each quaver instead of getting it over with and going to the downbeat, and that would help the conductor as well and the orchestra. There's some moments where I feel you don't know how long to stay in a harmony. Sometimes you leave the harmony too quickly and sometimes you stay in it too long. So, harmonic impetus and harmonic tension and all of those kinds of things really are very important in all music, especially a work like this. But I think you have a very good grasp of the piece. And we have a very little time here to discuss it, but I think that, you have a very good future. And I would work on overall some of the chordal passages and forearm things over the finger work. I think you have the finger work quite well. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people fake a lot of these passages and you play them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. I think it's very impressive, but there are some things also musically. Try not to do any cliched things that you've heard before, like listening to William Capell or listening to Boulez or Horowitz or anyone. Just play it the way you feel it. Hear the harmonies the way you hear them, rather than because I heard a few, da 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 da, those kind of the famous melodies. I have a feeling you could say something more with them if we heard your real opinion. You know what I mean? Rather than a conglomeration of interpretations. And it's easy to get into that because there's so many recordings available of this piece or any piece for that matter. So, say something that's yours, make it yours. And in the opening, with all the arpeggiations, try not to just outline, but because you have the fingers to do that. And later on, you show that where you hit the C minor, yum. That was just brilliant. But the opening is not as hard. And we'd like to hear not just the harmony there, but actual notes.
Right.
So in a way, and you're not going to hear them with the orchestra sawing away on that melody, they have the theme, the opposite of the third concerto, The orchestra has all the hard stuff there in the beginning. The opposite is true here, and we have to hear that melodic and harmonic stuff in the beginning, not just the harmony. Okay? So, it's kind of a combination, combo burrito, I would call it, you're not doing the same thing all the time, which is good. In other words, the minute I think you're thinking harmonically, you might not be. And the minute I think you're thinking melodically, you might not be. You know what I mean? Right. But that's just my opinion. I'm just saying, it could be even greater. And in the slow movement, don't wait for those downbeats. I mean, go get on with it. Don't try to make the moving notes more musical than they really are. In other words, you got to know where to go to, and then I would take time after hitting the downbeat. In other words, not before it.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So get there and then relax and then move on. Anyway, it's just, you did a great job. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you, Dikran, very much. I'm taking notes, by the way. These are fantastic suggestions, not just for Rachmaninoff, for everything. You work...
Well, thank you for this presentation, Rajat. I will be a little bit shorter. And obviously, I'm coming from not a pianistic perspective. I'm a conductor. I'm not a pianist. My instrument is cello. So my remark will be mostly associated with orchestra, and how do you see yourself on a soloist chair. First of all, because I'm not a pianist, this version of Rachmaninoff without orchestra or without orchestral part is very new to me. I'm listening to it. I hear the orchestra behind it, as I know, as I've conducted it, and I can tell that orchestra part very well. That's very much in your system. I can see that, and that's exactly why it begs a question: why does it? In my opinion, you were jumping for the long pauses of when the orchestra is playing and piano is on a pause. You were jumping from one to another a bit too fast. You yourself, in that sense, when there's orchestra, you will be waiting, right? So when you wait, and this is the power of breathing and power of the pause. You change the touch, you change the heartbeat, even probably change. So I guess that's because of the lack of the collaborative pianist at the moment. But of course, it's not to say something is wrong. It's just a remark. What I wanted to ask you, more of a discussion base, in the second movement, the famous da 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 ti da 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 ti da 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 ti da ti da. Is it me, or you were trying to make it sound like it's not a triplet? And this is where I agree with Dikran when he said, don't use cliches wherever you heard it, but rather have your own thing. I'm reading your biography, and you come from a place which has its own cultural important, let me see what's happening here, sorry, which it comes from a culturally very rich and important heritage. So I believe if only you will be able to have that in you while you are playing Rachmaninoff or any other, that will probably be an amazing experience. And this is not to say that what you play is wrong or anything. It's just, I have heard such Rachmaninoff before. I wanted to hear Rajat's Rachmaninoff specific a bit more in it, right? I think that's also what Tigran mentioned about. In my personal opinion, there was a little bit too fast also moving from one movement to another. One of the ways how soloists present, it's the audience, let audience settle a bit before you give them a completely different mood in second movement or from the second to the third. Right. These are the things. It's a good thing we are discussing this, because that means you are at a level where we don't talk technicalities. We are talking about completely different high level stuff where stage presence and audience engagement is at stake. So yeah, I will not go into technical part of piano things, as my colleagues are much better in this. And I guess I will conclude on this. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to hear.
Yes, Rajat, please ask questions. This is the moment for you to really find out what you would like to hear from a conductor and a pianist, your judges.
Right. Well, one thing I have a question about is so my approach to the opening of the second movement with the hemiola was I was trying to feel it as triplets and then phrase towards like the stronger harmonies, but I think I have lingered on the what do you call it, on the individual notes a bit too much, and therefore it sounded like it was sort of not moving forward. My question would be is like how do I kind of um, mentally make that adjustment so that it comes across more intuitively? Because I think I know theoretically how to do it, but I'm trying to do it intuitively.
My answer to that will be very simple: sing it, hum it, and check where is it that you naturally take breath, and that will be the answer.
Okay, that's really
Hum it, and then see where is it that you absolutely need to take a breath, because it's such a legato that in fact whether it's triplet, whether it's duplet, or whether it doesn't really matter as much as the flow. It's written in a way that for people who don't know, it will sound four notes up, four notes da 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 ti, da da da, but then it's written as a da da ti da 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 triplet. So in any situation like that, collapse it, and just bring it into a single quavers without thinking about what, and see if you can hum it, sing it. I would do it that way. I don't know if Tikran has other steps.
okay. That's really helpful.
Yeah, Dikran, do you have something to add to the question from Rajat?
No, I agree. I agree with the maestro. I think this second movement is much ado about nothing. It's the most natural, it's the most natural. It's like the Shakespeare, right? It's a very natural harmonic progression. And I think what he's saying is just leave it alone, in a way, but I do believe a lot of pianists have this cliched idea of stopping after da da dee da, like he said, after four notes. Why? There's no indication harmonically. I know I'm speaking about harmony all the time, but I think harmony dictates policy.
Yeah.
I mean, the melody doesn't dictate the policy, the rhythm doesn't, the bass does. As a matter of fact, if you want to go further, the bass is what matters.
Yes.
Like in a fugue or in a figured bass or any of those things. Even in a Mozart sonata or concerto, the bass totally clues you in, because you can build all kinds of harmonies on these bass notes, right? It depends on which one you're building. So I think you have to decide, like I said before, in the whole piece, though, I would say, like, there are many passages. Don't think of that as octaves with a note in between. Think of it as a single note. Like he said, sing it,
Right.
because and technically you're making double motions. You're going up and then down. See, I would just be up and then just move laterally.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? You're making it more difficult for yourself. The same with that passage.
Right.
One other thing. In your case, you need to play the fast notes faster and the longer note values longer. It just so happens that the harmonies dictate that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For example, da-dee, da-da-da-dee, da-da. Hold that A flat longer,
Right.
and then move the moving notes more. Don't make melodies da-dee, da 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 dee. You know what I mean? A lot of people do that. I mean, I believe it's
Motion forward.
well, yeah, I believe in horizontal,
Yeah, absolutely.
no verticality. Now, the conductor, of course, wants to be, I don't blame him, he wants to be together. But if you feel the music, you will be together.
Right.
Okay, we are used to it. We can catch. Just be
Yeah, exactly. Well, you are, because you're a fine conductor. You know,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Thank you, Rajat. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome. No, I'll just be honest. Many conductors will not follow. You've got to follow them. Georg is not one of those. He's one of those that believes in the soloist, and it's his interpretation, and he's going to go with you. Not that he's not going to contribute; he will contribute.
Right.
But it's a collaboration, right? But
Yeah.
you can't. You got to get on with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even in the bum 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 at the end when he's going da 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 dee da da, and you've got all these chords, don't hold him back. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let
That's
him
great.
go. Let him go, and you fit your chords in. You
Right.
know. He knows where to go. You know.
Wonderful. Thank you. Now, Rajat, do you have any other questions?
Nothing else as such. This was really, really insightful. Like I'm so excited to work on all these like little details now. It's really, yeah, it's a privilege.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nice.
I mean, as
was
a
a
pianist to
privilege for
pianist, I played this concerto with many different conductors. This is so great. You hear from the conductor who will work with you together, which doesn't happen always, and that's so right. You can take that opportunity and really delve into what you want to do with each of those melodies, even fast melodies. The fast passages are just melodies written in shrunk notes.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Rajat, for this wonderful presentation, and thank you, judges, for such an insightful, helpful commenting. I have my sticky notes over here. I'm writing after you because that applies to my own playing. Thank you all very much, and we will be saying goodbye to Rajat and his wonderful
Bye-bye,
performance. Bye bye. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
See you later.
Congrats.
Yep. And I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce one more judge who is joining us now. Let's welcome Joanna Moffat. She is an opera
Hi,
singer.
Joanna.
Hello, Joanna. What a great pleasure
How
to
are
have you
you?
with us today. She's a founder of Court Productions, which is the opera company in Chicago, promoting and moving forward the presentations of contemporary operas and operas in various unconventional settings. She works with many singers, conductors, orchestras, and we're very, very grateful that you were able to join us today. So, yeah, thank you, Joanna. And with that, we'll be moving on to our next performer for this session 3 of ColORCHESTRA International Auditions. I'm reminding everyone that you're watching a live broadcast with performers presenting their pieces, their choice of the repertoire in front of the judges. Everything is happening live. So if you hear me stumbling over my words, that's because I have not been edited. I am live right now in front of you, and so are everyone, including the performers. We just heard Rajat Chowdhury performing the entire Rachmaninoff Concerto No. 2 in C minor, and
Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall. So I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.